Well, we've talked a lot about this here on this show, whether it's happening in school or in the office, even up to the NFL. Bullying has dominated headlines and sparked a national conversation. How do you recognize it? How do you stop it? How should parents handle it? Still a long way to go with this one, and today we have one of the foremost experts here to talk about this, Gabriella Van Riege. She's an award-winning author and bullying prevention expert. We've had you on the show before via Skype, but here you are in person.
It's so nice to see you in person.
It's good to have you here. Now, you've brought this ball with you, and you've been traveling around the country with this.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about this program.
This is the 26th country. I started at the commemoration of JFK on November 22nd. As you know, I'm passionate about bullying and cyber torment, as I have renamed it.
Torment.
Torment.
It really does take it to that level that it really feels like to a lot of people who are victims.
It does. I asked every victim I've met in the last 6 months to give me another definition, because I thought cyberbullying, it's also for us better as adults to understand what they feel. So they all said cyber torment.
Well, because, you know, we talk about that and you say bullying and, you know, hey, give me your lunch money is what you think of. Some of these people are bullied to the point, tormented to the point where they commit suicide. So
when I go into the schools now with the ball, I do 50 cities, and then I want to bring it to our commander-in-chief. I want every child to have the possibility to see the ball and to interact with it. And I really mean that. I throw the ball around and I tell them, this is that student that you cyberbully, that you cyber torment. This is that person that just wants to fit in just like you. And then I talk about ownership and acceptance, and that is a novel idea for the kids.
I like this message that you have on the ball here. You may not be able to read this at home, so I'll read it to you. We as a society have dropped the ball on human kindness, and so it really does kind of get that message across. You're throwing this to these kids, and they actually see this on here.
They understand it, and especially when I say it's the colors of the United States, right? And bring it back, the kindness. It's a choice. And I say to them, one moment, one person, one kindness is all it takes for them to go from a negative space to a positive place. And the kids often say, but how do I do that, Gabriella? I said, just sit next to the person. Write on the cyber world, right? It's not okay. I don't know this person, but it's not okay. Instead of sharing all this stuff.
Well, sometimes, too, it's bullying by omission, isn't it? Because my daughter was telling me about someone in school who no one really had anything against, but she said, you know, she always sits by herself in the cafeteria, this and that. And I said, well, why don't you do something? Well, what am I supposed to do? I said, invite her over to your table. But she's reading her book. I don't care what she's reading. She'd probably rather sit with a bunch of people. Invite her over. So really, it's about picking up those people who are falling through the cracks, too.
And I think the longer they stay isolated, the more they feel that there's something wrong with them. And so, again, for your daughter, just go sit there. Even start with just sitting there with your lunch. In the beginning, I promise you, that person will smile from the inside, and they will feel so amazed that there's someone sitting next to them.
Gabriella Van Riege, traveling the country with the ball, trying to raise awareness and taking this to the commander-in-chief. Look her up on Twitter and on Facebook. I follow her in both places, and you're doing a great work.
Thank you very much.
We'll be right back.